This is a solid bar stock. Off that same ab machine. Cut it down, as you could see in the pics before. Cut the bar down. That was the main fulcrum point of the ab machine. And mainly because I don't have a tubing bender or anything, so all my curves that are on the drift trike and stuff are from the steel already being the way it was made, and then I just cut it and used the right links and stuff to get it to where I wanted it. So what I'm going to do now, this is all, you know, the main structural part of the fork, and then I'm going to use, this is 1 inch thick, so I want to get 1 inch ID pipe in inner diameter and run it the rest of the way. And I got couplers to go on the end for the collars of the axle to go through. One of these on this side unscrews, and I got couplers that'll, like axle, I don't know what you call them, but they're a little tight. I gotta open them up, maybe with a Dremel or something, or just get something else all together. Still trying to decide, but anyway, yeah, 1 inch ID pipe's gonna go the rest of the way down, and then where the axle goes, it's gonna be some type of collars that these will slide into and clamp down. That'll clamp down on these. So yeah, came out nice. I used a skill saw to notch it. Just gotta run with what you got sometimes. So all right, we'll get this welded up and move forwards. Yeah, man, 7 1/4 on the inside, up and down on both top and bottom. So came out good. Still getting back into welding. It's been a while, but not the prettiest in the world. But yeah, so 7 1/4 here and 7 1/4 here, so it's square. And then I squared that up with the edge. I use the edge of the board as a straight edge for everything. And where's the axle at? That's the axle. Yeah, one's a little longer than the other, but it's going inside a pipe, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, that'll work. So like I said before, putting a 1 inch ID pipe down. Got collars for this, and I was going to put like an extra reinforcement there. It don't need it. I'll ride it quite a bit and thrash on it before I let my son get on there, but there's no doubt in my mind it's not going anywhere. So anyway, so moving forwards. got the, I'm going to put a Harbor Freight Predator 224 engine on here. Put a stainless grab bar on. And we're doing something different in the back. All this is going to be different in the very back where the engine's going to go and stuff. Hadn't fully decided how that's going to go yet. But the Predators were on sale. The 224s were on sale for $169, which is pretty rare. And I went down and they didn't have one, so I got a 30-day rain check. So I got another 3 weeks to go pick that up. And then got an 1.25 inch axle. I know y'all see my Cutlass. Got an 1.25 inch axle with some what I call those pillow bearings, pillow bearings. Got those. Got the hubs that go on the end for the axle, for the rim. Still trying to find rims and tires. Got that. I got these because they got two bolts, and I'm putting a C-clip on. It's got the little place for the C-clip on there. And what else? These are probably going to be what goes at the bottom of the fork for the sport bike axle hubs to go into. Now, they must be metric because it's a little tight fit in here. It just won't go in. So I was going to maybe hit this with a brake hone or something. I don't know if I want to go down that road. It's got a nice little Allen key, so once everything's tight you can lock it in place and all that, and this would weld in to the bottom of the fork. You know, that was kind of my plan, but I don't know if I want to deal with opening that up. Without, I could just buy something, but these were cheaper than my other alternative, which was roll cage clamps. They got 1.25 inch roll cage clamps. There's two Allen bolts. It comes apart in 2 halves, so you can just drop the bottom half out, and then that would be a lot easier. But I might just hone that out and use it. Kind of go with what we got. Got this 1.25 inch aluminum axle, and the bearings to go with it. All I need is the sprocket hub, and I got the engine mounting plate. So we're getting close. By the time I make the video and actually get it all together, I think I'm going to have everything, because I'm not going to try to make a whole bunch of videos. So anyway, that's where we're at. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you as we make more progress. Getting the axle perches ready. I notched out the square tubing so that the axle will be give enough ground clearance. And then we're going to weld this in, obviously. And it's pretty thick. I don't know, 3/8. It's thicker than 1/2 inch, or 1/4 inch, I mean. So the nut and the bolt are going to go clamp here. They're not going to clamp through the square onto the square, because you crush it. You crush the square tubing. But this way, I can really torque it down without having to worry about anything backing off. And I'm also going to put square tubing inside there, so I have a place to get the socket. So I'm going to cut this off, and it fits inside there. So it's going to go piece there. Oops. Piece where the bolt goes here, piece where the bolt goes here, so I can go up through the bottom of the socket, torque everything down. I ordered some Nord lock washers, and they're guarantee not to back out with those. They use those washers on like airplane propellers and stuff like that. And I got some stainless ones. Got some grade 8 hardware, so shouldn't be any issues. So we're gonna get this done. I know it seems like a lot of extra work, and you probably get away without doing all this, but I just I enjoy the fabrication process. So if I can go do a little extra things here and there to make my life easier down the road. I don't have to worry about stuff backing off. I could just ride. There's a lot of videos of these out there, and the real videos of them, a lot of guys are stopping and tightening bolts all the time and stuff. So I'm trying to avoid all that. Make it where I can just ride it for the most part. So all right, moving forwards. Using the Sawzall, that's what I got. I got a cut wheel on my skill saw I'm using for some things. Not ideal, but we're still getting all the stuff we need to really do metal fabrication the right way. So this will work in the meantime. Sometimes it's better to just move, you know. Most of the time it's better to just move forwards despite circumstances. 99 times out of 100 it's better to move forwards despite the circumstances, in my opinion. But anyway, these are the spacers that are going to go in here. When I cut this a little deep right through here, so I'm going to have to fill it up a little. Not ideal. Still got to work on these a little bit to get them perfect. They're a hair tall, and I'll put the block on top, and then I'll grind until it's exactly flush with the edge, and goes all the way down, and it's 2 inches all the way down length. Got it marked on the inside where these go. Pretty close. I'll shave a little bit off of that one. So anyway, we'll get this figured out. Once I got them exactly the right depth, I'm gonna weld it on. And then stick it down in there. Before I weld it here, I'm going to cut the hole in the bottom for the access for the socket. So this really didn't take a super amount of time to do. Seems like a lot of extra work, but in the end I think it's going to be worth it. So here's today's progress. Got the rear axle done and installed temporarily, but it's all finished up. So I'll put the, I guess it's like a 3/8 plate. I notched the tube down, as you can see, so it's even with the same original height that it was. I'm not trying to make this thing scrape the ground. A couple inches off the ground. Should have a couple inches of clearance with 10-inch PVC on it, about 2 inches of clearance. And you can see what I did there. It's boxed in with the tubing. That way when I'm tightening everything down, I'm just tightening it to this plate. I'm not crushing the tubing and stuff like that. I think it would have probably held up okay, but I just wanted it where I could really torque it down and not have to worry about anything moving around and stuff. So axle's done. Got my hubs. Double bolt. C-clip on the end. So got a good sprocket hub. Got a 2-piece sprocket. Started with a 60 tooth. That's what a lot of guys run with. Still need all this stuff, so taking y'all's word for it for the most part. So going to have a center beam for the engine mount. It's going to come out to about here, and then it's going to go at an angle. It's going to be as wide as the engine plate, engine mounting plate, and then go at an angle to here. 2x2 box tubing everywhere. So I know it seems like this thing would be terribly heavy, but it's really not. It's really not all that bad. Plenty strong, obviously. I'm a bigger fella, you know. I need a little robustness. So, yeah, looking for reliability. Gonna pick up the Predator 224 engine probably in a couple days, and get the fork, final measurements on the fork figured out. I still haven't got any rims and tires for this yet, and I don't have an official seat. I've been using this. I found this at a yard sale. Been doing this just kind of for mock-up, the sprocket, the rear axle spacing, stuff like that, just to make sure there's plenty of clearance there. So I think it's gonna have a little longer wheelbase than a lot of them. I've been watching online. It seems like when they're real short, they whip around so easy, it's hard to control them. And I watched a video with one that was for 2 people. It was a 2-passenger one, which is way longer than average, and it seemed like it was just controllable. It seemed like the guy was able to control it a lot better, and it did what he wanted it to. Spun around like it when he wanted it to and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to add a little wheelbase for stability. It's what they say from everything I've seen. So we're learning. So we'll get it done, and we'll have some videos of just riding around. Me and Ryan. We're gonna probably, I don't know what we're gonna do. I might just buy him one for now and then build him another one later, or buy me one and give him this one, or we'll figure it out. But you guys take care, and we'll see you on the next video.